As a die-hard fan of eating popcorn while watching a film, I have to urge you to watch this on an empty stomach. Raw is directed by Julia Ducournau, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and it stars a bunch of people whose names I will not butcher because I suck at French. In this movie, a very shy, socially awkward vegetarian girl gets into vet school, and after being put through a horrendous hazing ritual, she starts to experience some new things. She starts feeling different things, and this movie is a coming-of-age story. A very visceral, no pun intended, raw, and terrifying coming-of-age story that really has some very good commentary and allegory towards finding yourself, towards being put into a new territory out of a comfort zone. It has some things to say about sexuality and really explores that in a very disgusting way. As I said in the intro, word of advice, watch this movie on an empty stomach. Please. This movie was shot beautifully. Again, no pun intended, but this is very raw cinematography and filmmaking in general. This is one of those films that you will not have one moment where a character, or in this case an actor, just completely bursts out and has this gigantic monologue that is acting towards the audience to try and win an Oscar or anything of the sort. This is just a capturing of very disgusting but very natural or unnatural yet realistic situations of this girl who starts to gain a taste for something that you should not gain a taste for. This movie doesn't hold any punches back, and I remember hearing back when TIFF was on that this movie required some medical attention towards some of the attendees, and I can see why. I personally did not feel like I needed to throw up or anything, but I can see some more sensitive people needing to. The journey our main character Justine goes through is unraveled in a very weird way, and there are many sequences that I thought were fantastic, yet they feel very dreamlike because the surrealism of this whole thing. This is not a conventional story, even in an allegoric sense. You understand what the director is trying to say, you understand how they are conveying these situations, but you understand that they are allegories, yet to these characters in this film, in this world, this shit is really happening. And where this all kicks in after you get to know their characters and the situation and how they are feeling in this new environment that is not easy to go through in hazing, in college, not being at their home, and being just surrounded by very unfriendly people. It starts to unravel this new persona inside of Justine, and it all kicks in when her sister is trying to shave her between the legs. An accident happens, which I will not spoil, and then the plot really thickens. Her sister also gave a fantastic performance. I think these two are very similar, yet they contrast so much throughout the movie, and it's clear to see that they do. They have very different beliefs about the same things. One is more active, one is more passive towards their beliefs and what they want to do and what they want to taste. Yet I will not tell you which one is which because I think this is one of the most interpretative elements of the film that many people might have different interpretations of. I also like the guy who played her roommate, who has this very weird relationship with her, and that's all I'll say, and he is an homosexual, and he wants to kind of be straight, and again this goes into the sexual depravity that this movie displays, because Justine, she is a virgin. She has not had any sexual encounters of any kind. Once college comes, it changes you for real. And it seems funny because Alien just came out a few weeks ago, and that movie is also filled with sexual depravity in terms of imagery. This film is very visceral towards it. It's very frontal with what it is about and how it is about it. And I, for one, love allegoric tales, and I thought this was one of the most original coming-of-age stories I have ever seen in my entire life. Again, this is not a movie that holds back its punches in terms of themes and of imagery. This movie will show you things that you probably do not want to see. But that's how great this director works with its cast and characters. That's how great this director wrote the screenplay and dialogue separately for this film. You can see that there's a lot of work towards building this world, and despite being very unnatural, it works towards being realistic, because I believe that out there are lots of situations like this, for better or worse. But the movie is not without its flaws. Sometimes when it skips over time periods and it starts displaying the evolution of Justine, it sometimes feels inconsistent about it, because at one point you see her very evolved when it comes to this thing that the movie is about. But then a little forwards into the film, she is a little hesitant when it comes to, let's say, less gruesome things about what she is becoming. But I thought her journey was very well portrayed in terms of seeing this character suffering, but also enjoying what is going on in her body, in her brain, how she is evolving or de-evolving. And I swear to God, I will not spoil anything, but the ending of this film is terrifying, and it's one of those endings that makes you look at the film in an entirely different fashion, and it adds to the story and the thematics being explored. As I said, I love allegoric tales, and this works phenomenally well as an allegoric tale. I think the time skips are a little inconsistent, and I would have liked, honestly, a little more exploration of her sister. Just a little bit more. With excellent cinematography, great exploration and psychological analysis of characters, Raw has many European sensibilities and will not be a film for everyone. It is one of those stories that does not spoon-feed you everything, and I love that about it. Raw is absolutely a collector's item. What did you think of Raw, my beautiful geekies, and what is the most disgusting yet fantastic film you've ever seen? And if any of you want to say the Serbian film, it doesn't count, because that's an obvious one. It's shot beautifully, let's admit it. Thank you so much for watching, my beautiful geekies. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. On the channel right now are my Season 5 review for Arrow and my Season 3 review for The Flash, as well as reviews for Free Fire and Table 19. I have more reviews coming like War Machine and Captain Underpants in the next following days, so I hope to see you there. And until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so you can be geeky united!